So although I titled this video, "What is the meaning of life?" I almost called it, "Why do bad things happen to good people?" Why? Because our souls are all here to gain virtues. That is why we're here, to learn lessons, grow, and evolve as souls through the process of learning and gaining these virtues. Now, what's our motivation? Why do I, Christine Pavlina, want to become a virtuous soul? And the reason is this. It's because the divine source of love is a perfect, virtuous energy. This divine source of love has mastered the art of unconditional love, self-love, patience, kindness, forgiveness, you name it. So my soul connection is dependent on being an energetic match to that, to perfection. So obviously I'm not perfection, so I'm not actually in this cloud, but I as a soul am connected to it. So your divine connection and your soul level, whether or not you're a higher soul or not, is determined by how many virtues you have. So when you look at this divine connection, this particular soul probably has patience, kindness, unconditional love for others, and they're here in this lifetime working on self-love, right? So maybe this has, patience and kindness, and maybe this soul has patience, and they're working on all the other virtues. So everyone is in a constant state of trying to gain virtues in order to be absorbed into this divine source of love and become one with this energy, as opposed to just attached to it. So how does one gain virtues? Circumstances is one of them. You are placed in circumstances where you are forced to have patience. Do you have an annoying child? Do you have to sit in 2 hours of rush hour traffic every day? Are you standing in line at the mall doing Christmas shopping and getting completely annoyed? You're going to realize that patience is not only a virtue, but it's a tool that you're going to use to keep your soul in a calm and loving state. You're going to realize that patience actually benefits you as a person, because if you're impatient, you're the one who ends up getting really uncomfortable because the world is going to annoy you. That's just the way it is. So it's how you respond to it that matters. So you want patience. You as a soul are actually motivated to acquire patience. Forgiveness. Maybe you're put in a situation where your husband and wife left you for another person. They were really inconsiderate about it and broke your heart and treated you like you didn't matter at all. That's going to require some serious, serious forgiveness, because you're going to feel screwed over. Maybe you have kids together and you just feel abandoned, and you share these children with them. So your forgiveness comes into play even more heavily, because you're not just going to write this person off, you're going to see them repeatedly. So there's a call to that. Maybe you end up having an autistic child, where you're placed in an unconditional love situation where you love that child unconditionally, no matter what. Suppose your son comes out of the closet to you and says, "Mom, I'm gay." Unconditional love. Your son has a very difficult truth to speak, where he's being forced in a position to show himself love by being true to himself and speaking his truth, and you as a mom in showing unconditional love for him and accepting that truth that he has. So in addition to circumstances helping us gain virtues, truths, difficult truths. I talk to dead people, guys. You think my parents and friends were excited about that? Oh yeah, they were clicking their heels. No, not exactly. I was forced to show self-love in expressing my truth that I talk to dead people. And of course I, experience ridicule, but it's my truth, not gonna change. So I'm being forced to develop self-love as a result of that truth. So circumstances help you, truths help you. Now, just so you guys know, the top virtues are a balance of unconditional love for others and self-love, believe it or not. Because once you are able to develop unconditional love for others, you also can't be a doormat, so you have to balance it with self-love. And that's where the challenge comes in, and really trying to find that balance in any given situation between being true to yourself, but then also doing what you can to help others and loving them unconditionally. So that is why I almost titled this video, "Why do bad things happen to good people?" Because we are placed in circumstances that help us gain these virtues, where maybe we're cursing the other side, we're cursing our spirit guides, we're bad, we're laying in the hospital with, medical issues. is there anything more isolating than medical issues? I mean, it's really, it's painful, it's uncomfortable, you're alone in your body, your friends and family are trying to be there for you, but it's really hard. I mean, your soul will never be the same. Are you a cancer survivor? Compare your soul to what it was before you came down with cancer versus after. You'll never be the same. You'll never be the same. Maybe you're more accepting. Maybe you're more compassionate towards others. It's just impossible situations where you're just forced to step up to the plate because you have to. And so that again is self-love. But another thing is what are you doing with the pain? What are you doing? Are you turning a negative into a positive? Are you using your experience to help others? Maybe you're a cancer survivor who started a support group or a blog and tried to use their pain in order to help and benefit others. That's another thing, is so benefiting others with your experiences. And then also just helping them on their paths based on what you know. Now, another thing is how does the other side know that you've actually gained these virtues? Guess what? Tests. The other side tests you to see if you've actually gained these virtues after they put you in these circumstances to where they're like, okay, I think she's pretty good. I think she's gained self-love. Now let's test her to see if she exercises that self-love, to see if she uses that virtue, uses that tool in this situation. Just to show you an example, Donald Trump is president-elect right now. He is actually being tested for self-love right now, believe it or not. They're saying that he's not going to be happy in this position, and if he does in fact step down, he will have passed the test. So he's actually in a position of being tested right now in a major way, to where he would have to move his ego aside and not worry what anyone else thinks of him, and really focus on being true to himself and his own heart, in his own head. And so he would be exercising self-love if he did step down, just so you know. So he's being tested for that right now. So that's really what it is us becoming a closer energetic match for the divine, because we want to be in this jacuzzi. It's like Christmas year-round. That positive love energy is like Christmas year-round, because being absorbed into the cloud is just a wonderful and amazing perpetual state of being for us. Another thing I wanted to add is that I'm a big fan of Albert Einstein and Stephen Hawking. Albert Einstein valued the intuitive mind over the rational mind, and obviously studied the energies of the universe. And Stephen Hawking obviously studies the energy of the universe. And after a great deal of research, he concluded that God exists. Stephen Hawking was an atheist. And after all of his research, he concluded that God does exist, which is fantastic, that it's actually based on scientific research that he did. So that's really what I wanted to let you guys know, is what I do is not as fluffy as people think. I know I come across as pretty far out there, but I'm a little more, a little more Albert Einstein, a little more Stephen Hawking than people realize, because that's energetically why our souls are here, is so that we can become a closer energetic match for the divine. So everyone's walking their own path, and everyone has their own challenges to face, which is why I encourage you guys to be compassionate of one another and loving and accepting towards everyone else's truths, because it is very true that we are each all fighting our own individual battles and overcoming our own challenges in order to gain these virtues and become better people. And in the meantime, take care and be well. Thank you.